So I'm here in Nashville, and yesterday I was reading John chapter 2, which is incredible. It's where Jesus, he did his first miracle up in Cana, turning water into wine, and he goes down with his disciples to Jerusalem at the Passover, and he clears the temple. I mean, just the entire staging area is an incredible amount of energy and power that he displayed. And there was other signs that he was doing. We don't have them all recorded, but it says that many people believed in Jesus because they saw these signs. So here's this guy that comes in. We know he's more than a guy. But people see this and they're incredibly inspired and they believe. And so there's this giant uprising of hope that people have because of what they saw. It's so amazing because it says that Jesus, for himself, he didn't entrust himself to these people because he knew it was inside of them. It reminds me of back home, I had Rustin and Bailey collect all these weeds, these burrs that were getting in our dogs for wheelbarrows full of them. And they created this giant pile, and I was going to burn it all and get rid of it all. And I didn't get to it for a few days, and it rained and poured, and so this whole giant pile is soaking wet. Well, when I went out to go burn it, it was impossible. So what I thought was maybe I'll build a fire on top of it and it will just dry everything out underneath. So I made a fire on top. I even put a little gasoline at some point. Don't necessarily recommend that. That burned hot and fast, but didn't catch anything on fire. The fire that I didn't make on top, I thought it burned great. It was made quite this pile of ash, and I thought that what I thought is that that would have dried everything out. But it didn't. What it did is it actually created this covering of ash that kept the moisture in everything underneath. So anything that was underneath wasn't dealt with at all. A few days later, I came out and I have to peel this back, and it was just decay and death, and it was terrible. And I thought to myself, this is what happens when there is some type of revival without dealing with the issues in the heart, without dealing with the things that are underneath. It's just this outward expression and excitement and hope, but without actually peeling back and being humble and honest before God and dealing with the root issues, exposing everything. That's what happens in our lives. That's what happens in my life. God was convicting me yesterday of my pride and arrogance in relationship to other folks that are in ministry. Totally convicted. I was wrong. Because here I'm thinking, look, I'm in this revival ministry and we do all these good things, but I had some issues in my heart that the Lord needed to address me with. Anytime we want God to consume our life and for the fire and the joy and the passion to completely fill everything, if we don't let him in and deal with the hard issues that are underneath the surface, it will just lead to this encasement of those things. And ultimately, it'll lead to decay and to death. Jesus didn't entrust himself to people because they never dealt with their sin when they were coming to him. They were just excited to see his power. May it be that when we come to him, we'll come with open hands and heads down and hearts open, and be willing to let him come in and peel everything back and clean us. And then give us an opportunity to truly delight in him as he is in the best way possible. Love you guys. Hope this is encouraging.